A very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bhaumik, and I am a registered migration agent here at Aussizz Group, Canning Well. Well, today I'm going to discuss the most important part of every migrant's journey, and I'm very sure you all are very keen to know this, that how we have all progressed so far, and what we have to be mindful during our journey from a student life to till we get PR. Well, to begin with, um, there are certain product that Aussizz Group has in order to help you to succeed in your journey. So as you all can see my slide, we have got our own website for a PT tutorial. We have got our own website for IELTS tutorial. We've got a platform where you can understand, get comparison of the health insurance for your student health cover through my getmypolicy.online. We also have a tutorial platform for a CCL, which is a very popular exam, which is the Credential Community Language Test. So yeah, sorry, I thought like my screen was not on a sharing mode, so I've just done that. I think you should be able to see that information which I've just discussed. Other than that, I was talking about the professional year program. Yes, we've got our own platform where you can see all the provider and all the information that you're looking for a professional year. Apart from that, we've got a very brilliant tool that we've developed this year, which is 𝐸𝐴𝐳. 𝐸𝐴𝐳 is one of the most brilliant platform that we have developed for all the students and whoever is looking for the migration pathway. 𝐸𝐴𝐳 is designed for all occupations and it has information about the occupation that are in demand and what are the available option that particular occupation has through the skill migration or through the employer sponsor visa or through any other avenues. So let's begin with the most important part of every student journey. Well, I'm going to discuss about the condition that every student visa holder has it, and I would also discuss about the meaning and the detail of those conditions and how they are affecting each individual student visa holder and what they should be careful in order to maintain those conditions. So first of all, everybody knows that what is the student visa and why do you need a student visa in order to stay in Australia. I mean, we all know that. So that's very familiar part. I'll just move on to the very first condition, which is always one of the most discussed topic among all the students and among all those people who are willing to come here on a student visa. So the very first condition, which is the 8104. Now the condition itself, 8104, stands for the work restrictions. Well, just to give you a little bit of information about this condition. So during this COVID, department has given access to each student visa holder to work unlimited hours to support the skill shortage and the industry demand. However, that was only a temporary measure, which was there to help the locals and the students to support each other. Now, those restrictions to work unlimited hours are going to cease by 30th of June 2023. And from a very first day of the next month, which is 1st of July 2023, this is going to be 48 hours a fortnight, so 24 hours a week, which used to be 20 hours a week. So this is kind of a new arrangement that department has brought in, and students, whenever they are on student visa while studying, they can work 48 hours a fortnight. So this is only while your course is in a session, guys. Okay. So for example, if your course is not in a session and when you are having a break during the semester, you can work again above these defined hours, and the restriction does not apply when you are having a break. But as soon as your course commences, you cannot work more than 48 hours a fortnight. Okay, so I think everybody is aware of this part, but it's just that sometime, I mean, it's a human error. We all, go in a flow and then forget about this part. So always be mindful that you all have to work within the arrangement of your visa condition. You cannot breach the visa condition what are imposed on your visa. If you ever breach the visa condition, which is, for example, this 8104, the work restrictions, then it is a very serious a breach, and your visa can be cancelled by the Department of Home Affairs, and that can lead to a lot more difficult scenarios in your further life. So do not ever cross the line, guys, and use the facility wisely and focus on both end on your study as well as to gain some experience within the limit. Now, going forward with the continue arrangement for unlimited work right. Well, if anybody who is working in aged care sector before the 9th of May 2023. So yes, this date is very crucial. So department has also released the information that the people who are working in aged care sector before the 9th of May 2023 and who are going to work with the same employer until 31st December 2023 in the same sector, which is the aged care sector, then they are still allowed to work unrestricted hours, even though they are on a student visa. So, guys, yes, this is very crystal clear information, and department is following all the guideline, and they have already announced this on the various legal platforms where you guys can go and check the exact information about this aged care sector continue to work unrestricted hours until the 31st December 2023. So this one does not apply to any other sector, guys. So if you're working in any other sector apart from aged care, and if you are employed in just support staff, but not the aged care facilities, then you are not allowed to work unrestricted hours. You are, as a student, you are allowed to only work 48 hours a week, 48 hours a fortnight from the 1st of July. Now, the main and the major criteria. So the student who are enrolled on a full-time course, they all have the condition which is 8202. So the condition itself, the definition of it is that you must remain enrolled in a full-time registered course that is of the same level as or at the higher level than the registered course for which you were granted a visa. Now, this condition. So, for example, if anybody has come here to study a master's degree in any of the discipline, and that is a full-time registered course from any of the education provider, then they are only allowed to study master's level course itself. Yes, if you want to change the education provider, you can, but that's only after completing the 6th principal month with the same education provider. Then you can change the education provider if you want. You can also change the course also from a master's to master if you want. However, you are not allowed to change the course from a master's degree to any of the bachelor or a diploma or any certificate courses. It's a serious breach of the condition if you do change the course from a master's to a diploma or a bachelor. If you are doing a bachelor degree and wish to change from a bachelor's to master's, that's usually what happen. But if you end up doing it, then it's fine. But imagine if you are on a bachelor's program here to do bachelor's of engineering or bachelor's of science or bachelor's of nursing, and you wish to change from bachelor's of any of the discipline to a diploma level course, you are not allowed to do it. If you want to do it, you can only do it if you are enrolled with a diploma and then applied with a new visa, and if the visas are granted. Other than that, you are not qualified for that. So this is the most important topic among all the students, that whether I can change from a master's to a diploma level position. No, you cannot, my friend. You can definitely not. If you will do it, department will identify those changes and they can issue the NOICC, which stands for the notice of intention to consider the cancellation, that you have breached the condition of your visa, which is the 8202, and they can cancel the visa on this ground that you have changed the course from a higher level to a lower level. So this is very important to every other student, that you cannot do that, right? Limited study change. Now, this condition, so condition 8203, this condition stands for those students. So the definition of the condition is must not change your course of a study or thesis or a research topic without the approval of the minister. Well, so usually this condition is only imposed for those students who are here for a master's or a PhD, right? So the students who are doing only master's by coursework or a bachelor's by coursework, and not considering to do any research or further release of their publications, then they usually do not have this condition. They do not have to worry about this. This is only for the people who are on a research or a PhD qualification, right? So if you are here for any particular topic, research to execute the particular topic, or to perform a PhD qualification and doing a research on particular topic, then you cannot change the topic itself without having the approval from the minister, guys. So those usually the people who are here for the specific research, they would usually not change the topic. But if they want to change it, then they can only go through the professional and the legal process in order to change it. So that condition is very limited anyway, 8203. Now the other condition. So this is again following the same condition which I've just discussed the further. So 8204, it's only applies to those people who are here for the research and further PhD level qualification. Those people cannot study separate qualification, which is a graduate certificate or a graduate diploma or a master's qualification. So this particular information, guys, I don't want to confuse anybody. Just understand that this is only aligned to those people who are here to perform a research qualification or a PhD. Okay. It is usually not imposed to any of those students who are doing a bachelor's, master's, or a diploma level qualification. All right. So again, this is 8208. 8208 is again no study change related to critical technology. So the definition of this particular condition is must not undertake a critical technology related study without the approval of the Minister for Home Affairs. Critical technology means a postgraduate research course that relates to critical technology, or a prerequisite to a critical course or a thesis or a research topic which are related to critical technology. So basically, guys, this condition is again for those people. Let's say, for example, I'm here to do a research on environmental, for example, and I've got that particular qualification to perform my study, which is Masters of Environmental Science by Research, for example. And then if I would end up changing it and getting into the technological area, which are very critical, then I cannot, because it's a breach of my visa condition 8208. So I cannot change from those particular topic to something else, right? Which is related to only critical technology though. It does not apply to any other students who does not have this condition. So this is only for those people who have this condition imposed on their visa. All right, okay. So this is 8501. 8501 is for all the student visa holder across Australia. So if you are on a student visa, then this 8501 is always there, irrespective of your qualification, whether you are doing a certificate course, doing a bachelor's, master's, research, thesis, PhD, irrespective, guys, this condition is always there for everybody. So whenever you have this condition, right, so you have to follow the condition in order to maintain your student visa. So the condition definition is that must have and maintain the adequate health insurance for the whole of your stay in Australia. Now, whole of your stay in Australia means that while you are a holder of a student visa, right? Right after the student visa, when you jump on the any other visa, then you have to follow the condition of the other visa. However, we are only talking about the students for now, so I'll not go off topic. I'll stick to the plan here, which is a study condition. Now, so let's say, for example, you are here on a student visa and you have condition 8501. You are doing a master's of health science, for example, or a bachelor's of nursing, and you are currently having your insurance with, for example, Bupa or Allianz or NIB or any other insurance provider, because there are a range of insurance provider. And if you wish to change your insurance provider, that is possible. You can do that, but you cannot stay without having the cover, the insurance itself for you. If you have a dependent, then for you and your family as well. Without that, you cannot stay. If you process any of the stay, if you stay without having that particular insurance, then you are breaching the condition of your visa, and that can again lead to the consequences of student visa cancellation, guys. Okay, so be very mindful about this condition as well. And you, when, as I said, that when you are here on a student visa on your own, then you need to have cover for yourself. But when you're here with your spouse or with your spouse and your child, then you also have to have a family cover for all of you. It's not that it is only only for the main applicant and the secondary applicant does not need it. No, it's not like that. Everybody has it, because a lot of people, they usually ask these kind of questions that, okay, well, I'm the main applicant, I've got the cover, but how about my family? They're traveling here, they're coming here. Well, they cannot stay as your dependent, a student dependent, if they do not have the full insurance cover throughout the period of your stay, right? So this is for everybody. Now, this condition 8516. Okay, so 8516 is, here we go, guys. This condition. So this condition stands for, so it says you must continue to maintain such requirement as you would have satisfied the grant of your student visa applications, right? So for example, one of the criteria requires the students to demonstrate that they have a sufficient funds to pay the tuition fees and meet the living expenses. Therefore, you must continue to maintain such financial capacity during your stay in Australia. So usually this is for students who are having, who demonstrated that they've got, sufficient funds to support their stay and their tuition fees while they are on a student visa. So I think you all are aware of it. We all need it. Without funds, you can't support yourself to pay the tuition fees and stay in Australia, right? So this is very mandatory, and everybody is pretty much aware of it. So we'll move on. Now, this condition, so 8517, maintain adequate arrangement for the education for our school age dependent. We are missing that D. All right, so this one is for those who are having a dependent child and school age dependent who are in Australia for more than 3 months as a dependent on your visa, right? So for example, if you are here on a student visa, if your partner and your child are also here on a student visa, you're dependent, and if your child is above that 5 years of age and going to be in Australia with you for longer than 3 months, then you must maintain their enrollment as well, because this is very important for anybody to give education to their children anyway. So this is one of the requirement though. So this is not about choice, but this is about maintaining the condition of your student visa. So guys, if you are having your dependent, then make sure you get your child to enroll in the particular school and then be in the school and study here, right? So this is one of the condition, and I think this is always there. It's just that people don't pay an attention to the detail of the condition of the visas, but this is always there for those who are having a dependent visas, right? For their family. So we'll move to the next slide. The next slide is okay, maintain arrangement for your education. Again, this is the common condition. We all know that when we are here on a student visa, when we are here to study, when we are here to perform any of the course, then obviously we are responsible to maintain our further arrangement to study, right? So another condition that we are going to discuss is 8532, maintaining welfare arrangements. Now, this condition requires that under 18-year-old student maintains suitable accommodation, support, and general welfare arrangement. To maintain welfare, a student must stay in Australia with a parent or legal custodian. Now, see, these are the things for only for those people who are coming to Australia on a student visa before they turn 18, right? So let's say if you are a 17-year-old and coming to Australia to study any particular diploma level course or any higher course, then you must remain in Australia through the particular legal custodian arrangement, right? So whoever has given that particular custody, I mean, to that particular guardian who are going to be your custodian, or if you are here with your parent, then it's not a problem. So you must remain until you are you turn 18 or above, and the custodian can be your parent or any other legal person that your parent has given them the authority. And we use a legal word we use, which is a custody, and then also we use a word that is I'm just looking for that particular arrangement word, which is usually we give power of attorney for certain things, but here we are only talking about the custody, which usually be done by your parent to give a right to someone else when they are going to take care of you before you turn 18, right? So that person, whoever is going to be your custodian or your legal guardian, they must be above 21. And a good character, definitely, yes. Otherwise, your parent wouldn't give it anyway. So yeah, that's 8532. Usually we have got students who are above 18, so it's not a problem. But if anybody's who are under 18, then obviously they have to follow this condition, right? Now, this condition 8533. This is very common. Everyone has it, every single student. So if you are on a student visa, check your visa condition. You all have that 8533. This condition stands that inform a provider of address, right? Your address detail must be updated in the university's record within the 7 days of your arrival in Australia. And if you have moved house, the new address must be updated within the 7 days of the change. So this condition is always there. It has never been gone off. And every other students who are here in Australia, they all have to maintain their corresponding addresses in the system through the university, right? So guys, if you have not updated, you better do it. This is very important. The other condition, which is 8534. Now, 8534 condition is one of the very popular condition, and this condition stands for no further stay. So this condition means that while you are in Australia, and if you have this condition on your visa, which is 8534, then you are not qualified to apply for any of the visa other than some exempted subclasses, such as subclass 485, subclass 490, and a protection visa, right? So let's say, for example, you are on a student visa, you've got this 8534, no further stay condition, and while you're on a student visa, you wish to apply for permanent visa, for example, like you want to apply for PR, if you're qualified for skilled visa subclass 190, 189, or 491, or any of the employer sponsor visa like 482, 494. Well, if you have this condition 8534, then you're not qualified to apply any of those visa which I've just mentioned. Other than those which you can see on the slide, the subclass 485, 590, and the protection visa, yes, they are exempted. You can apply those visa even though you have this condition. But if you are applying any of the visa apart from this, then you're not qualified for it. So be mindful, guys. And for further clarification, you can write it to me or my colleague, and we are here to help you guys. This is another similar condition, 8535. No further stay, which is while you're in Australia, will not grant you a new substantive visa other than student visa. Grant you because you have support from the Commonwealth or a foreign government or a protection visa. 8535 is a mandatory on subclass 500 student visa for students sponsored by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. So, for example, if you are coming from any nationality and if you are coming here because your government from your home country has sponsored your whole education to carry out here in Australia on a student visa, then this condition is always there, and you are not. I mean, you are not exempted to carry out anything other than those exempted category. So you need to be mindful. If you're sponsored, then obviously they are expecting you to come here, complete your study, and then go back to your own country, and then with your skill set, help them to to do any of the innovative executions, whatever they have proposed for. So this condition is only there, though this is not normally on any of the student visa who are not sponsored by any of the Commonwealth or foreign government or any of the specific Department of Defense, right? Normal student visa holder, they do not have it. So don't worry about that, guys. And I think I've covered pretty much everything. The only rundown about my slides I would like to give here is to those students, as I've already covered everything, that if you have any questions about your current student visa conditions, and if you're not sure, then you can leave a message. You can leave your questions here in the chat box, and we'll be able to attend it as many as I can. So thank you very much, guys. I think we've covered all the conditions that are briefly available for the student visa. And we have.
Yep.
I mean, I've given Bhaumik pretty much. Yep. Thank you, Janvi. I think I've covered everything. So yeah,
the session was wonderful. I think all our guests definitely would have enjoyed all the information that you have provided. If we're happy to take over questions, or would you want to say anything further?
No, I think we'll be able to attend those questions. So let's start with it.
Sure. So one of our participants asked that, can a student spouse who went on dependent visa apply for SC 491 visa post reaching Australia?
Yep. Okay. So so I think as far as I understand the question is that if you are a student and then your dependent who is also here in Australia and a skilled fellow and wish to apply for the 491 through either a state regional nomination scheme or through the relative sponsor stream. Well, yes, if he is qualified for those visas, either 491 relative or the skilled regional, then obviously, yeah, he's qualified for it and he can definitely apply.
I'm not sure, but I believe the question is like, if I'm like a student dependent, can I directly apply for 491, or is it going to be the primary?
No. So that's exactly what I said, Janvi. The answer is still correct. I will still stand to my word that, let's say, for example, I'm here on a student visa. I'm doing a master's degree, right? And then my wife, she is a registered nurse from India. And for example, she has also acquired her registration here through AFRA. And she got the opportunity to apply for a subclass 491 through the state nominated program or through any of the relative sponsor stream. Then yeah, definitely she can apply. She's qualified for it.
Oh, that's great. And I think we'll also take a follow-up question on the same. So which visa includes 2 years of education plus 3 years of work permit? I think they are willing to know the subclass.
Yep, why not? So those students who are here to study master's degree, who are here to complete 2 years of master's degree, they all are qualified for a post-study work visa, and they all are going to get it for 3 years.
Right, thank you. Our next participant asks, like, after reaching to Australia.
Sorry, I'll just go back to that again.
Sure.
Just to give more clarification, there are certain STEM qualifications that department has announced, and for all those people from those particular skill occupation and those specific qualification, they'll be qualified for the longer 485 visa, which is work visa, which we all talk about it, right? So they will be from, so 3 years is existing, but then it will be 5 years. And from, so there are a lot of things that they'll be covered, but obviously I'll be having, I mean, I can only assist to this question in a very specific manner if I would get some more detail. So whoever has put that question forward, I would request them to write an email to me, and then I'll be able to give you more specific answer that whether you're qualified for the longer than 3 years. Yes, 3 years is definitely for everybody.
Yep, and I have dropped your email in the chat box as well.
Yeah.
We have another question, which is, after reaching Australia, if we apply for a spouse visa, how much duration that might take?
Okay, say again.
After reaching Australia, if the participant applies for their spouse's visa, what would be the duration that it would take? I suppose the question is somewhere around how much time will it take to be granted?
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Well, see, the processing time, the public processing time usually change. And I mean, we cannot give you very precise answer. However, whatever I have understood this visa, I can suggest that this time change over the period of the year. However, average 90 days are there though. So you can consider that it's about 3 months.
Right. Thank you, Bhaumik. I hope that the question was answered. Sorry, I was just taking up the follow-up question because of which.
Not a problem. I mean, usually it's a 90 days process for a student dependent visa. Yeah.
I believe that's it from our attendees, what we have for questions. But if you wish to add anything on a final note, please feel free to.
I think I've covered pretty much all those major conditions, but one of the most important condition that people are confused about is this 8202. So guys, I've already discussed this, and again, if you guys would need to know, then this is one of the most popular topic at this point of time, that the students who are here for the higher education, they cannot change from higher to lower. But other than that, everything else is pretty standard, and I've briefed that already. So I think we should be okay, Janvi.
Right. Maybe just one last question, if you can answer. What are the fundamental rights and entitlements that international students have under the student visa program in terms of work rights, healthcare, access to education, etc.?
Can you just repeat the question?
Yeah. So what are the fundamental rights and entitlements that international students have under the student visa program in terms of working rights, healthcare, and access to education?
Well, see, when you are on a student visa, I mean, you are usually, see, I mean, you all know that your condition allows you to work, I mean, part-time, which is like going to be 24 hours a fortnight, 24 hours a week, which is 48 hours a fortnight. But when you are having any scholarship, then, well, you can have, I mean, if you are a bright student, then you can have the scholarship, and then it can be renewed as well. Other than that, I mean, you as you say that you are holder of insurance, for example, a student visa health cover, then your student visa health cover also has a lot of benefit that they offer. And when you are visiting any of the medical clinic or any hospital, then you're qualified to claim those insurance back through your insurance provider. And apart from that, when you're performing a master's program, well, your spouse can work unlimited hours as well, which is also a great part that we all know this as well. I think, yeah, that is it pretty much, Janvi.
And I believe talking about insurance, of course, if any of the participant has any concerns, then we can help with OVHC
Yes, we
and
can.
OSHC.
Yeah, we can.
Can you discuss the procedure and requirement for international student to extend or renew their student visa, including any
Yeah.
important timelines or documentation that would be needed?
Yeah. So usually the people who are on a student visa, and let's say, for example, they've got the student visa for 2 years and they're supposed to finish that course within the 2 years. But then unfortunate event may have occurred and they could not complete that study within the time frame, within the granted student visa period. Then they can always obtain a new confirmation of enrollment from the education provider, and they can apply for the student visa extension to complete the remaining study while they are in Australia. They must apply the student visa to complete the study before their current student visa end. So this is one of the fundamental thing that they need to remember. They must apply. And then for the remaining extension, whichever they are applying for, they must buy a new insurance for the same period. They must have got the support system in place, which is their financial ability to demonstrate that they have got covered for the remaining study. Then they also have to understand that they've got, if they have done the health check before coming to Australia, then the new extension will require the new health check, that they have to go through the medical examination. Then on top of it, they have to support the new student visa application by informing department that whatever they have studied so far, they have got the transcript of the same, and then the remaining study, why they could not complete it within the time. So they have to write the kind of genuine intention to study. This is important. Yeah. Apart from that, yes, there are a bit of information that we can always suggest when clients are here to understand the student visa extension process. Yep.
Right. And when we are already at it, maybe if you want to shed some light on what support services or resources could be made available for international students if they encounter any issues or concerns which are related to their visa, such as, let's say, cancellation or breaches of any visa condition.
Yeah. All right. See, so usually if you are not sure on your student visa condition, and if you have been offered a job to perform a full-time role, then you can stop there right there and then you can inform your employer to say that, okay, well, this is what the visa condition says. But to have a clarification, you can always go back to the registered consultant to have some more clarification on it, or you can always go through the conditions that are displayed on the Department of Home Affairs website and follow that before you end up committing anything which is considered as a breach of the visa condition. So the resources are available for everybody, left, right, center, and this is why all the platforms are there to give you more guidance. And Aussizz Group is having offices across Australia, and we've got professional registered consultant who can guide you and explain you so that you do not end up having any of the trouble with your conditions. Yeah.
That is very well said. I believe like the consultants of ours will be happy to help any of the participants like whenever and
Yep.
wherever possible.
That is what we are here for, and it's a
Uh,
privilege to serve the community and people here. And yeah, just for the information, guys, I was a student as well, so I'm very much aware of these things.
right. And while we were talking about student visa, maybe something about education. What if a student is already in Australia, and
Mhm.
what are the rights and processes for them to change a course if they ever wish to, or any education provider if they wish to change? while
Yeah.
studying on a student visa?
Yeah, so this is possible. So if you're here on a student visa and maybe you're going to perform, let's say, Masters of Accounting, and you do not wish to continue with the Masters of Accounting and you wish to change it to, for example, Masters of Business Administration, major in marketing, for example. So if you want to change from a Masters of Accounting to Masters of Business, then you can change. However, you cannot though change it before completing the 6 calendar month with your current education provider from where you are doing your Masters of Accounting. You can only do that prior to if the education provider has released you from the system and they have given you permission to change it. Other than that, you're not qualified for it. So if you want to change it, you have to complete that 6 month and then you can change it from education provider to another education provider or internally as well with the same education provider. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Bhaumik. I believe this is what even I would and our other participants would want to know. Maybe we can wrap up this session now. Thank you to all the
Yep.
participants for attending.
Thank you,
And
guys.
you,
Thank
Bhaumik.
you, everyone. We believe we have covered all these student visa conditions. And if you guys have felt that anything have been missed, then please do not hesitate to contact me or my colleagues, and we are all here to help you. You can write an email to me. You can write it to any of my colleague, or you can call us as well. We'll be able to help you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great afternoon.